Hi, it's Michael from Ponds by Michael Wheat, and today I thought I'd record a video and talk a little bit about a topic that comes up every now and again, converting a swimming pool to a swimming pond. So it is a topic that comes up for us. We probably do about, I don't know, 3 or 4 a year, I would have said. Um, and I just think there's some key things that I probably just wanted to get across to people just so they understood the complexities of it, the engineering that's done for it, and just to give people a better idea really of how that works. So we recently had a client inquire about us installing a swimming pond into their existing swimming pool. And what tends to happen is normally it's because it's probably got to its end of life and it's probably due either the tiling redoing, the lining redoing, the filtration redoing. It needs some significant cost putting into it. And because of that, they go, oh, well, I just have it as a swimming pond. And I think sometimes the assumption is, oh, this is going to be cheaper. This is going to cost less than maybe having the tiling redone or maybe having the equipment looked at. And unfortunately, that's probably not ever the case. A swimming pond is actually quite major construction, even with the shell that's there. So when we kind of got through this process with this client, they just didn't appreciate the significant investment. And I totally understand that. And and I think actually a lot of it is about motivation for wanting a swimming pond. If your motivation is, well, we've got to do something with this swimming pool and it'd be more cost effective to do a swimming pond, then I'm telling you a swimming pond is probably not for you. People that are generally our clients and as a company, we build about 3 swimming ponds a month currently. So obviously, I've been doing it now for 7, 8 years. I've got a lot of installs under the company belt, if you like. And my biggest takeaway is most of our clients love cold water swimming. Now, we do fit heaters on quite a few of the swimming ponds we do, but they do have this enjoyment of swimming outside in nature. And I think if you want that swimming pool experience, you basically just want a swimming pool. And a swimming pond is not necessarily the right option for you. Most people like they just feel like I've got the hole in the ground, so surely converting it would be cheaper because the shell, the structure's already there, the space is there. But the reality is it needs quite a bit of reconstruction. So one of the reasons for that is the footprint has to change because we want to try and put some planting or marginals in. Even if we don't do that, it's going to need relining, and then a lot of excavations needed to put in pipe works because obviously we've got to fit filtration in, etc. So there is a lot of work that's needed. Obviously, a completely, entirely different biological system. Pretty much the whole area around it wants re-landscaping and changing because you've kind of had something in there which is a concrete hole in your garden, and we've got to create it into a fantastic, beautiful to look at natural swimming pond, and that generally means quite a lot of changes need to be done around it. So by the time you've done all that, you're not just converting a pool, you're building a swimming pond just inside that old footprint. So the real comparison I suppose you could really make is if your primary goal is the most cost effective way, then swimming pond is probably not it. It's probably just get your swimming pool reconverted into a swimming pool. Now, that's not me trying to talk myself out of doing projects because we love redoing swimming pools, and I'm a big fan of anti-chlorine and not having chlorine in what we swim in. So I absolutely love what we do. But I just think if the consideration is this will be cheaper, then it's just not going to be for you. Um, however, if it's more about, well, actually this solves the maintenance problem. Yes, a swimming pond is less maintenance, not no maintenance, but it's certainly less maintenance, particularly long term. Maybe the first year there's a bit more maintenance, a bit more blanket weed, um, getting the phosphate level down, but actually long term the maintenance is less. Um, so it does solve a completely different objective. And the other thing is, I think it's more of a lifestyle choice. The vast majority of our clients, um, they're not just looking to swim in it, they're drawn to open water. They love the idea of swimming in something that feels like a lake. They often already have open water swimmers, and they want to experience that at home and that ease. For them, it's not just a pool upgrade, it's more of a lifestyle decision. And I think that's really key and important to understand. I mean, ultimately, most of the projects we do are in the six figures. So we don't do much under the six figures. If we just do a very simple swimming pool conversion, you're going to be looking at anything from 75 grand upwards. But 75 grand would be a very basic install. So most swimming pool conversions we've done have definitely sat in the six figures. The average install the company does is around 150,000. Certainly all the projects we're looking at the minute are around that number and higher. So that's pretty much what we do as a business. It's it's just understanding that there's more excavation needs doing than you probably think. There's more structural adaptation that needs to be done. The biological system needs to be integrated, and of course, the landscape probably just wants a bit of change. So it's not 20% more work; it's actually 2 to 3 times more work, which I think sometimes is not always appreciated. Um, and I understand why. I completely get why, and I think sometimes as well, if you look at framing, like swimming pool has always been seen as this premium framing, like having a swimming pool is everything. But and maybe a swimming pond is almost like the ugly step sister or whatever. But actually, I think if you was to come to one of our open days or see one of our projects, you'd understand that a swimming pond is far more um, beautiful, fits in that setting. It's just a totally different experience to actually what a swimming pool is. I think swimming pools really fit modern type houses. I think, especially in the Mediterranean, where it's always warm. But a swimming pond is very British. It suits Britain. It suits what we do. It suits who we are. We're hard. We like the cold. We even install them in Scotland, so we like the cold here. So I would say that it's for people that can. I mean, look, they're not always cold, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. In the summer, they can go up to 28, 29 degrees. I've been in them that warm without heating. And of course, we can put heating on just to take the slight coldness off. And actually, what I think heaters are quite good at doing is they just make the water temperature just a bit warmer than the outside temperature. And that actually does make a huge difference. Uh, certainly to the way it feels when you see the steam coming off the water. It's just cool. It just is really cool. So if you're considering converting your pool, just be clear with yourself first. I think that's the thing I really want to get across. Are you fixing a problem, or is it you want to create something entirely new? And I feel as though if you want to create something entirely new, please give us a call and let's talk through that project. And that's something that we would obviously get very excited about. So once you know which way you want to go, that makes that decision much easier. If you'd like to explore whether swimming ponds are the right fit for your space or lifestyle, then please feel free to get in touch, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. I'm Michael from Ponds by Michael Wheat.